of the patriotic heroes and steadfast martyrs of the June 12 struggles have not been in vain.
Our administration is irrevocably focused and committed to prioritizing the socio-economic welfare, security of life and property, and engendering enduring wealth creation in the state as catalysts for statewide prosperity. Through the purpose-driven leadership, we shall remain committed, focus-driven in growing and advancing the frontiers of this state's economy to ensure a permanent end to poverty and lack in our state. Our transformational strategies and prescriptions shall continue to sit well with the socio-economic realities of our time, as we shall strive hard to ensure that you enjoy the dividends of good governance and assuage the pain of the current economic challenges.
Governor Aiyedatiwa noted that his administration's plan to develop the deep sea port and explore the large deposits of bitumen is still very much on course, as government is open to offering incentives to attract local and foreign investments. The governor said with continued cooperation and determination, the state and the nation will surmount the socio-economic challenges which tend to submerge their inherent greatness. He also called for conscientious participation and decorum from all stakeholders as the state prepares for the November 16 governorship poll. From the International Culture and Events Center, the Dome in Akure, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
June 12, a day etched in Nigeria's history, can be captured as a move from controversy to significance, being a pivotal moment in the nation's journey towards democracy. In this report, Osrc traces the trajectory of the day.
Nigeria's first experience in democracy lasted 6 years, between 1960 and 1966. The second attempt was just 4 years and 3 months from 1979 to 1983, while the Third Republic was truncated by the military regime of General Sani Abacha.
And my subsequent appointment as head of state and commander-in-chief, I have had extensive consultations.
It all began on June 12, 1993, when Nigerians flocked to the polls in what would become one of the freest and fairest elections the country had ever witnessed. The candidates Moshood Abiola and Bashir Tofa vied for the presidency amidst high hopes for a new era of democracy. But the jubilation quickly turned to chaos when the military government, led by General Ibrahim Babangida, annulled the election results. The decision sparked outrage and protests across the nation as Nigerians demanded the recognition of their democratic choice. The struggle for the actualization of the June 12 mandate became a defining moment in Nigeria's history, with activists and pro-democracy movements leading the charge against military rule. Despite repression and crackdowns, the spirit of June 12 remained alive.
I, Olusegun Obasanjo,
do solemnly
swear
that I will be faithful.
It wasn't until June 12, 1999, 6 years after the annulled election, that Nigeria transitioned to civilian rule, with the election of Olusegun Obasanjo as president.
I think it was Professor Nwosu who came up with what was then called option A4. Now option A4 I remember I took active part in it when they are voting. The voting, you know, what he came up with by that time was you queue up behind your candidate. If it's not there, the photograph is there. And by the time they are counting, the first person will say 1, the next person behind will say 2, and they will count 1, 2, 3 to the last, and they record. And the results are gotten on ground, not going to count, not going to any local government something. It's there, you know the winner. Now the result came out, and at the end of the day, what happened?
An election was conducted. That election was presumed to be the freest, most credible. But at the end of the day, the then president, military president of this country, Babangida, annulled it. But the Democrats, they never succumbed to that. They struggled, made several moves, activism, until we now got the present democratic system.
In 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari took a historic step by declaring June 12 as Democracy Day, recognizing the sacrifices made by Nigerians in the struggle for democracy. This move has been seen as a significant acknowledgement of June 12's importance in the nation's history.
The significance is more important in this country because it enables us to know that we have to embrace democracy and make sure that democracy survives.
June 12 is commemorated annually as Democracy Day, serving as a reminder of Nigeria's journey towards democracy and the need to uphold the principles of free and fair elections, justice, and accountability. It stands as a testament to the resilience and determination of the Nigerian people in their quest for democratic governance.
With 25 years of democratic experience in Nigeria, majority of citizens seem not satisfied with leadership performance due to poor democratic gains. Omoro Langbeji sampled opinions of people in Akure, the Ondo State capital, on Nigeria's uninterrupted 25 years of democracy. A report.
Nigeria's first experience in democracy lasted 6 years, between 1960 and 1966. The second attempt was just 4 years and 3 months from 1979 to 1983, while the Third Republic was truncated by the military regime of General Sani Abacha.
And my subsequent appointment as head of state and commander-in-chief, I have had extensive consultations.
President Olusegun Obasanjo took over to pilot the Fourth Republic in 1999 and handed over to late Musa Yar'Adua, after which President Goodluck Jonathan was inaugurated. President Muhammadu Buhari was elected twice, 2015, 2023, and handed over peacefully to the present president, Bola Tinubu, making him the 5th president to lead Nigeria in the past 25 years.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear that you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
However, reactions have continued to trail the 25 years of unbroken democracy in the country. Some citizens in Ondo State praised the nation's doggedness for holding on to democracy in 25 years after the return of the military to the barracks.
There had been physical development, there had been manifest progress, but the turnaround that the democracy is all about is yet to manifest in the life of the citizenry.
We are not yet there, we are not yet in the promised land, but we've made substantial progress and we should be relatively very proud of what we have done.
A public analyst, Mr. Tunji Ariyomo spoke on the current monetary policy of the federal government, saying it must be given adequate attention.
Our problem is not with the minimum wage. Our problem is with what we currently have. What we have by. That is, the cost of living is becoming higher and higher. So that makes nonsense of the 30,000 naira that our workers were earning. So in essence, what I expect the government to do is to focus on productivity. So you notice that the economy now, what has affected the economy, two issues. One, the fact that we have no capacity to fight and protect the naira against international currencies.
To Mr. Dayo Awude, the leadership style of the country should do more in giving Nigerians the dividend of democracy.
The style has been that which has not given Nigerians the best experience in terms of delivery of dividends of democracy, in terms of allowing the people's opinion to count. The people should be at the center of every governmental activities. But to a large extent in Nigeria, as of today, that is not the case. And I think that should be changed.
Speaking on the electoral process, a retired deputy registrar from Adekunle Ajashinju University, Akungba, Mr. Dayo Adedeji, said the nation's electoral system needs to be rejigged while the leadership should be people-oriented.
There had been no generally acceptable election except June 12, 1993. Ironically and unfortunately, that generally acceptable, considered worldwide as free and fair, that election was annulled. Ever since, every other election normally ends in court. 20 million people will participate in an election. 7 people will sit down to determine who won the election. Our electoral process still needs to be rejiggled. More importantly, our leadership should be more people-oriented.
Mr. Yemi Adeyemi is a security consultant who decried the current state of security in the country.
We are not getting it right about security-wise. Everything, nothing. You cannot sleep in your house. You cannot move out. Everywhere in the country. Everywhere insecurity. And the government is not ready to sit down and to look at the way out of the problems. Every day, killing people in East, killing people in the North, killing people all over the country. Let our government sit down. If there is no way they can do it, let them contact the nation and the international body so that they can provide solution to this problem.
Others also suggested some strategies needed to address the security situation and other aspects of governance. As democracy clocks a quarter of a century in Nigeria, the citizens are desirous of better performance from leaders at all levels. Omoriola Ngbeji, Osrc News.
Still taking messages flowing from the Democracy Day celebration, the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Ondo State has identified with the people of the state over the current economic challenges. In a statement to celebrate Democracy Day by its Publicity Secretary, put in place to sustain the people's hope for a better tomorrow, adding that government would do more in the area of palliatives to support families, stressing that this would be sustained until the gains of economic reconstruction begins to manifest. Media professionals in Ondo State have committed to utilizing their platforms to achieve the elimination of child labor in the state. The professionals who are currently participating in a 3-day training organized by the International Labour Organization agreed that exploring the power of the media through constant advocacy is key. They commended the Ondo State government for passing the Child Right Act. According to her, media professionals owe it a duty to always report facts about the exploding menace of child labor in Nigeria.
The media's influence is instrumental in driving collective efforts to end child labor and ensuring that the issue remains a priority on the global agenda. As media practitioners and professionals gathered here today, you have the power to drive meaningful change. You are great change agents. I urge you to commit to investigating and reporting on child labor issues within your communities and beyond.
Data from the Nigeria Child Labor Survey 2022 conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics says 4 out of every 10 children in Nigeria are trapped in child labor. The Ondo State Executive Council has taken significant steps to enhance the state's infrastructure and development. During an ESCO meeting presided over by the state governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, the council approved 3 major projects: the construction of a new state judicial complex, renovation of the Akure Township Stadium, and substantial improvements to the state's road infrastructure. Briefing the press on the details of the meeting, Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General Kayode Ajulo emphasized the importance of the new judicial complex, describing it as a landmark project. Ajulo highlighted the governor's commitment to public welfare and peace, noting that the new complex will provide a suitable and dignified environment for the administration of justice in Ondo State.
Is to ensure that Ondo State becomes #1 state in Nigeria and possibly in Africa. And part of what was discussed, I'm sure, one or two of my colleagues, we made mention of one, if I miss some out. One thing that my heart is, I'm happy, particularly of a legacy project. This is something that we conceptualized for long, but because of issues that some of us were aware of, has been stifled and delayed. And I'm talking of to give Ondo State a befitting judicial complex in a way that, because when it comes to dispensation of justice, it is something that is very, very paramount to the governor, which he places more premium on to ensure that we should have a place when it comes to dispensation of justice. It is a laudable project to have a state to commit over 31 billion naira to so that our justices, people can stay in a place where they'll be happy. The essence of giving justice is not that you'll be inside the sun or in a place that's not that befitting. But I think that one shows one thing, that we have a government that places premium on dispensation of justice, that believe the rule of law, and that believe that whatever we do should be based on that.
Commissioner for Sports, Saka Yusuf Ogulaya, discussed the revamping of the Akure Township Stadium and pointed out the governor's focus on youth development and mental health for sports.
Township Stadium, which is very overdue. And we are happy about this because of the fact that when you look at the stadium now, we're just saying the visiting of the stadium. And this approval and not West Township Stadium is completely destroyed in the country. Where we don't have issue with LMC. That's better than the stage in the situation where the LMC even said that we will no longer allow us to give people or to clubs their home matches in the stadium. Some of the times we are even trying to relocate to but with this, we are getting really into the stadium. We play our 2 matches at home, becoming a national institute, and other facilities there because upgraded, look at the football, the sports, not at the time, all these things will be done. This is the time that the present administration is committed to good development because of the fact that we have gone beyond when we spoke entertainment alone, it has become a business. And when we compare what is happening, and now we consider those
Special Advisor on Infrastructure Ayo Babalola also provided insights into the state's road infrastructure improvement. He said a major 28-kilometer road project in the really local government area of the state is expected to have significant economic value as it will connect directly to an open free trade zone and be in close proximity to the Edo State border, just 100 meters away.
Almost 28-kilometer road at Akotogo Igbo Road, that's in the local government. This road will go almost about more than that's exactly 16.75 billion. This road will consider the economic value of this road. It's one of the roads among others. Others will still come out. It is one of the roads that we need to really applaud our government. For this Lions Pride to ensure that this road is actually being constructed. It leads straight to the open, what we call this, this trade zone. This free trade zone. Thank you so much. Free trade zone. Another interesting thing there is this. After the completion of that road just it will now be about 100 kilometers, just about 100 meters or 400 meters to the boundary of Edo State. At the time you finish the road, it will take us up to about 20 minutes or 10 minutes before you cross to Edo State. And you also observe the viability and the economic value of that particular road, not only for the people in the South Senatorial, but for the entire state. At the same time, we link with the coastal road, which the federal government is really, they have already started constructing that road. And then that road will actually link that road and then really boost the economic value of our state. By the time we have all these things in place, we see a lot of things coming up economically. The economy of the state become more viable.
To ensure that Ondo State become number one state in Nigeria and possibly in Africa. And part of what was discussed, I'm sure one or two of my colleagues.
With that, we've come to the end of Sunshine Reports. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.